it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun and we're going to do something a little different now that we're getting to the nitty gritty and right to the end of football season. We are going to do a chart to try and figure out who is going to win the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. We're going to be doing this in two separate videos, so check them both out if you are interested in how they both are going to turn out. And if you don't want to sit through both, just watch the one that you're interested in. So with this video, we are talking about the AFC Championship. And we are going to use astrology to foresee or anticipate who is going to win. So this is a form of electional or even horary type astrology. So it's the answer to a question or kind of like finding the perfect date and seeing the good things that could happen on that date. So what you want to do is you want to first find out who is the home or the favored team. So in this, we know the favored team or the home team is the Ravens. So the Ravens are the home team. The Chiefs are the visitors. So when you run the chart is run using them as kind of the ascendant. So, and that would be the first house. So the chart is run for the date, so the 28th of January, the time 3 p.m. and the place, which is Baltimore, Maryland. So we want to run the chart for that, and then I also did look, because I know that with football, sometimes, you know, when they're singing national anthems and doing all that they do before the games, sometimes, especially when we get down to the championship games, it doesn't start right on time. Within a half an hour, this should all still be kosher. So it all looks like it's going to stay the same. So I did run some different times. But anyway, so the Ravens right here are on the first house, and that is called the ascendant. And what you want to look at is what sign is on the ascendant, and that is Cancer. And who is that represented by? Who is the ruler of Cancer, and that is the moon, which is down here in Virgo. Ta-da. See? So we have that ruled by the moon, which is down in Virgo, and so that is representative of the Ravens. Mainly, I kind of consider that the quarterback almost, and then the second house is more like the team. So that's kind of how I look at it. A lot of people look at it as like that's the whole team, but yeah, everyone is a little bit different. So first, before I go on, keep in mind I'm only presenting the facts for what the stars are telling us. So I don't have any team in this. I don't have any, bets on this. I don't really care who wins, because this girl, if you see, she's a Saints fan. So it is what it is. Okay, we didn't do that great, so if everyone else could lose, that'd be fine. But no, maybe next year. Come on, let's go, Derek Carr, pick it up. All right. So anyway, again, we're just doing this for fun. So most important, if you're placing bets on what I am saying in this video, I am not responsible for any money lost. So just keep that in mind. But feel free to place bets. So anyway, let's get on with it. So, again, the Raven, the host or home team, is represented by the first house ruler, which is the moon right here, and the second house is the team playing. So the Chiefs are the opposition. So this would be the Ravens. The Chiefs are the opposition. Opposition is going directly across, and that would be Capricorn. And who rules Capricorn? That is Saturn. So we'll get into that a little bit, but we see how they're in opposition with each other. So the first is the Ravens. Seventh house is the seventh. And then, so if we have the second house being the Ravens team, we have the eighth house being the Chiefs team. So the game itself is represented by the fifth house. And we'll get into all this a little bit. So the Ravens' first house is Cancer, again, like we said. So they're represented by the moon. We check the moon condition, which means, is it in good aspect? Is it in a good sign? So it's it's in Virgo in the third house. So the third house is about the action you take and the fight that you put in. So the fight that they put in is Virgo minded. So it is strategic, it's action, it's they really did their research. Virgo is about really doing research and trying to really get to know the other team and fine-tuning any issues they might have, and just really figuring it all out. That's what Virgo likes to do. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about figuring it out. It's a fast-moving planet, so this could be actually a fast-moving game also. So the moon is not in dignity or detriment, but that's okay because it does have some nice aspects to it. So the moon is in a trine with Mars, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. So first, we have Mars, Mercury, Venus up here. My Mercury kind of fell off, but it's pictured right there. And of course, that is a trine here, so it makes like a little kind of angle here. And then these three also have a trine with Jupiter, which then also has a trine with the moon. So that's what we call a grand trine. So you see how these all make just this beautiful triangle form? So trines are the most positive aspect that you could have in the chart, and that just everything just flows smoothly with it. It just they work together well. So in this trine we have Venus and we have Jupiter, which are our benefics, and those are our benefic planets, which are most positive planets, especially in a day chart, which would be Jupiter. So very positive for the Ravens so far. So that trine is just really favoring them. It's very beneficial to them. Mars, being that it's in a trine with Mars, they're ready to fight. They have the drive and the will, and because it's also in a trine with Mercury, it's got the communication. So the team is communicating well. So that's great. So they have the groundwork there, and groundwork I mean because if you look at the signs that this trine is in, it's in all earth signs. So we have the strategic, the research, that's the Virgo energy. Then we have the drive, the will to be the victor, and that is our Capricorn energy. Capricorn wants to be the best. And then we have our Taurus energy, which is our perseverance, and they will just keep fighting until the very end, and they won't give up, and they just truck right along. So plus they're playing with heart because Cancer, the moon, that's our intuition, that's our heart, that's what we want, they really want this. And though we do show it's in opposition with Saturn, so that can be negative, but we know that Saturn, which we said earlier, is the ruler of our 7th house, Capricorn, which is representing the Chiefs. So we have here the opposition. So it really just shows the game in play. So we'll get to all that in a minute. So next we're going to look at the 5th house. The 5th house represents the game itself, and that's right here, and that is Scorpio. So Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Now, again, we're only looking at the traditional and not the modern rulers. So you see I don't have everything added in here, but I do have Uranus in here. I don't have Neptune or Pluto, and we're only going with the Ptolemaic aspects. So anyway, Mars is in Capricorn. So Mars, the ruler of the game, is in Capricorn. It's in exaltation. Exaltation means that it is being lavished. It is just, and we know this team is going to be lavished with love. It's in the trine with the moon, so we know that these fans are just, showing so much love for this team because it's in its exaltation. It's in a trine with the moon, Mars, and Uranus is in there too. So Uranus shows surprises. So, and then let's go to the team itself. The team as a group is represented by the 2nd house, and that's Leo. That's ruled by the sun, which is up here in Aquarius, which modern ruler is Uranus. So those surprises are really going to kind of pop up. So the sun is, though, in detriment in Aquarius. So that there might be some issues there. And it is in a square with Jupiter. So there might be some conflicts with coaches, expanded egos. Maybe there could be some people being a little bit much, maybe some penalties because they're being a little aggressive because their egos are really expanded. So that's the team. I don't see that as much with the quarterbacks. I look at the quarterback as being, the first house team being the second house. So I think there might be some expanded egos where there might be some penalties, which might cause some issues that, could be a problem. So next, let's look at the Chiefs. So they are ruled by the seventh house, or they're represented by the seventh house. Ruler is Saturn. We have ruler up here in Pisces. So, it's in its own decan, so it is positive, but it's not super positive, not like being in its exaltation the way that we have Mars there. So this is actually in a grand kite formation. So remember the triangle that we talked about, the grand trine? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, if you put a little peak on top, that's what we call a grand kite. With that Jupiter, Venus, Moon, grand trine, and then we have the sextile here, which is also a very positive aspect. So it is in the very mutable Pisces, so they will easily adapt to changes, etc. Not really surprising because, Mayholmes, he adapts to anything. He can throw any way, any situation. But it has no aspects to the ruler of the game. So it's unaspected. So it's almost like it can't see it. So it's not aspected to it. So it doesn't have that positive aspect the way that the Ravens do. So positive, very positive with that grand kite, but not quite as positive. So Mars, the team. So then we have the team, which is also ruled by Saturn because that's Aquarius. So again, maybe they can't foresee things. How a lot of times they'll see changes and they'll see the way that the other team might be changing up. Well, they might not pick up on that. So again, this is a tough one. It's not going to be a blowout by any means. I think this is actually going to be a really good game. I think there's going to be a lot of aggression, a lot of just a lot of spirit into this. But I think that trine there with the Chiefs to Uranus shows that Uranus is actually going to help them and not hurt them. So I think there might be that surprise upset. I think a lot of people are expecting the Chiefs to win, but I think it might be going the other way. The last thing I'm going to look at, and I left that in there too, is we see the North Node there. So the North Node on a chart, that's cast for the home team. We have that North Node up in the 10th house in Aries. Okay, so the 10th house is about what we've worked for. That's our goal. That's our brass ring. So I think the Ravens are going to get that brass ring or the championship. At least they'll cover the spread. I mean, it's only 3 points anyway. So that is the Ravens and Chiefs game. So place your bets, folks, but don't go crazy. So just be smart about it, because there is that Uranus in there just throwing things out of whack. But hey, I think it's all positive towards both teams, but I really think that the Ravens are going to be a victor. If you want to check out the other video, I'm going to be putting that up as well. So check out how the NFC does in my next video, and leave some comments, and we'll see how we do. See you soon. Bye.